Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and we are back here once again for another torturing session. And this time it genuinely is torturing. This is mental torture. This is me crying for help here on these casts. Help us. Help us. We are reviewing Plan 9 from Outer Space. Yes, don't ask us what happened to Plan 1 to 8 because we've no idea. So we're just stuck with 9. There you go. Isn't that lively? Lee, what's your opening thoughts on this? Did you enjoy it or did you hate it? Because it seems to be, very hated, but then there's other people that love it.
Well, as you've mentioned, Plan 9 from Outer Space, and you mentioned Plan 1 to 8. Plans 1 to 8 must have been that awful, they had to go to Plan 9. And we know
I
what
think
Plan
they should
9
have
was.
just gone to Plan 10.
It's written, produced, directed by Ed Wood, who is really well known for making awful movies. It's gone down in history as one of the, if it's one of his movies, it's a takey. And this film has been voted the worst movie to be ever made. But it has got a cult following again. These bad movies have got cult followings. And we'll set the saying as we always say, it's so bad, it's good, sort of thing. I know you disagree, but it's the saying about these sort of movies. This is a bit of a mishmash. It's a sci-fi, it's a horror. It doesn't mix well with me, this one. And also you've got the late actor Bela Lugosi in this, who died 3 years before this movie was made. Ed Wood had filmed him previously for other movie projects, what never got off the ground. So this is why in this movie he was just silent, bits of him, and we'll say something about his standing later on, shall we? But yes, if you're after a turkey, if you're after a cheap-looking movie, if you're after bad acting, this is the place to come. Plan 9 from Outer Space by Ed Wood. Over to you, Ali.
You said it was a bit of a mixture of everything, like horror, sci-fi.
Yeah.
I just think, no, it's not. It's not a mixture of anything. It's a comedy.
I was going to say
comedy.
I'm comedy. I miss comedy as well, but you know what I mean. It's a mixture of elements what don't really gel well.
Yeah, I don't think it's meant to be a comedy.
No, this is why his movies. This is why nearly all his movies suck, because they don't gel well.
Yeah. Let's go to Brian. I don't know why sucking has made me laugh. Let's go to Brian. Brian, what did you make of Plan 9 from Outer Space? Did you feel connected at one? Did it grab you like Beef Dad? We don't know if it's grabbed Beef Dad yet, but we'll find out.
Oh, so you're going straight to me, are you?
Well, I've been to Lee. Weren't you listening? Lee's just gone before you. God help us, Brian. And you've only just come back.
No, but
things can easily be reversed.
Oh, no.
Go on, give us your review.
Plan 9 of Outer Space. Well, I didn't watch the theaterized black and white version. I watched the colorized version.
Do you know? Can I just stop you there? I thought you were going to say I haven't watched it.
No. No. Please don't go there.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Carry on.
No, I did watch it. I watched it twice. I watched it twice. It was the colorized version. It wasn't the theatrical black and white version, but I watched the colorized. And actually, honestly, I thought it helped. because I checked out the black and white like last few minutes, and it didn't really suit me. So I found to see if it could be in color, see if it would help, and to me it did. I honestly it. I mean, I think the facial colors to like all the cast members were a bit off, but other than that, with the clothing and the special effects or even the sets that they wanted, I think it helped, and I think it honestly was a good and decent film. I mean, it wasn't like one of the like a best movie that you could watch, but I thought it was decent. Yeah, I mean, of course the the special effects were how so cheesy, but it was late 50s, early 60s, so of course it would be cheesy, but I honestly didn't mind watching this. I mean, but I honestly didn't mind watching this, and I thought it was at least good enough to watch, and yeah, I did enjoy it. So thumbs up.
Yeah, the colorized version must be different because in the black and white one that I watched, there was no special effects. Unless you call string, I wouldn't call string a special effect.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say like, I wouldn't say like full on special effects, but
Yeah.
I mean, like you know what I mean, like from
It
what
was
they,
like something you do on Blue Peter, isn't it?
I mean, from what they could do, like from what they could do and what they done within that film is what I meant. So I didn't mean actual special effects, but
No, that's fine. Let's go to Stephen Price. I'm interested. You like your bad films, do you, Stephen Price? You like torturing yourself.
Yeah, this is crap from the beginning.
There we go. Thank you, Stephen Price. Let's move to Alex and Susan.
This is crap from the beginning. We've got the bloke, announcing what's going to happen, and it's just pathetic. It was a place to live and a place to die. Oh my God! The flying saucers. I read somewhere they were off wheel lumps off a car. One of the reviews said it looks like it's been filmed in somebody's garage, which took a fortnight to make. Oh, the acting was just absolutely dreadful, and it looked like somebody's living room when they were on the plane. Just a curtain, like a doorway, it's found in somebody's living room.
And what the hell were they holding on to? Those weren't control sticks of a plane.
No,
they were not control sticks of a plane.
Yeah.
It was low budget.
And there's one part in the cemetery. This is a murder, and somebody is responsible. Oh my God, how pathetic can you get? Oh, there's other bits in it. The part that made me laugh with Bela Lugosi is leaving the house and never to return again, and you hear a scream like he's been run over by a car.
Yeah, but you can still see his shadow standing there.
And
you can still see this. Have you seen his shadow is still there?
The guy's digging the grave. They see that girl. They're in daylight and she's in darkness.
Yeah.
And you see the police, going down the road. It's daylight, and when they get to the bloody cemetery, it's darkness.
There's a serious time issue in this film, isn't there?
And the bloke going, the stand-in was about 2 foot taller than Bela Lugosi, and that's all he done is put his cape around the front of his face.
Is that it?
Yeah, absolutely terrible movie.
You know what I like? When they all climb out, when they all come through the doorway of that tiny crypt. You've got that tiny little crypt and they're all just piling out of it. It's like the TARDIS.
Well, Ed Wood, I got one of his movies on DVD, and it's Glen or Glenda, and that is just terrible. You think this is bad? Watch the rest of his movies.
There might be a murder in a minute because Alex has just passed Susan the knife.
I want us to do another cast on one of his terrible movies.
Alex is trying to murder Susan live on cast. He's pushing that knife towards you, isn't he? What is he doing with that knife? Let's go to Alex and Susan quickly. Or Susan's still with us.
Well, I'm just not as statuesque as Vampira, so I'm about ready to end up. But I could wear the satin shirt and be as cool as like the space lady. The spacemen and the space lady were really cool in their satin shirts. They were awesome. And I like Tor. Tor is awesome. Tor is awesome, I gotta say. I'm a fan of Tor. But Bela Lugosi is brilliant again. It's too bad this was just shooting him at his house. I mean taking a movie of him at his house, because he was brilliant. Really, he was. And I like Ed Wood. I like Tim Burton's version of Ed Wood. I like this, and I always have. I like the spaceships. They do look like hubcaps. It's true. But it set up a whole bunch of tropes like zombies, grave robbing, vampire meets vampire woman meets vampire man.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 1 now for that.
Anyway, far out, man. You should probably do this before you play with the knife anymore.
Anyway, that's just a handle that we were trying out. Anyway, no, there's nothing wrong. Yeah, this is aggressively mediocre movie. Unfortunately, he's not a great filmmaker. You could actually have better movies or better movies like Manos, and any Roger Corman movie is better than this. Unfortunately, you can see that he had an idea, but he just couldn't. He couldn't there's a lot of scenes in here. They don't transition well. They're not filmed well. Some characters are really bad acting. Again, like they're 9 years old. The funny, Tor Johnson running around as a zombie with the tie still on. It's just, and then that character, that character, you stupid human, stupid. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you are if you're watching this movie, you are. So sometimes, the last funny thing about this movie is you're watching it and then you start being reminded of like the really corny episodes of Lost in Space or some other, really badly corny done sci-fi thing. And it had its moments, but it's not enough to really enjoy. And that's why I like the riff tracks and those guys making fun of it, because it's so mediocrely bad. It's so badly done. And it's
Alex, can I ask you a question? if we remade this as Geeks Assembled, do you think we could do a better job?
Yes, definitely.
Well, that is saying something. What with Brian? Oh.
What? Wait, what?
Let's go to Beef Dad. Let's get a bit of sanity. Let's go to Beef Dad.
Well, there's not a lot of chance of sanity as far as this is concerned. I mean, to be perfectly honest, yeah, I feel for the memory of Bela Lugosi. That stuff that he took, stuff that he recorded for, I think it was like Return of the Vampire, I think it was called. And it's been used in this, and then of course they had to have a stand-in for certain bits. And yes, it was Edward's wife's dentist playing the part. So yeah, you really don't expect much in the way of acting from that, do you? I believe I've heard a rumor that it's going to be remade.
Yeah, we're doing it. I've just had a discussion with Alex about it.
Oh, good. Oh, well, in that case, with the size of your gob, you'd be perfect doing the Tor Johnson part. To be perfectly honest, he was the one person in it who actually bunged in a reasonably convincing performance. I mean, first of all, as the sort of sheriff, and then as the reanimated corpse. And he looked brilliant, and he acted brilliantly.
Thor is awesome.
Oh, yeah. Tor Johnson was an excellent actor. And for me, he was the only thing that saved Plan 9 from Outer Space. No, this isn't the first time I've seen it. I've seen it several times before. And I don't know why I have seen it several times.
You must like torturing yourself.
Yes, it's sort of, yeah. But, yeah, the special effects, blah, if you can call them that. Yeah, the flying saucers, appalling, especially the bit at the very end where the flying saucer has caught on fire inside. But of course, they've got it flying along with flames, as if the flying saucer itself is on fire, rather than the technical stuff inside. And that was it's just pathetic. It really is. It is just pathetic.
Wow, just pathetic, Beef Dad says. I like it when they're driving on the motorway, on the highway, and they see the flying saucers going across, and you can it just looks so bad. But now for me, I've never seen this film before, and I've been thinking for a while, because I watched it the other day, and I've been thinking about it for the last few days. Am I unwell? Am I mentally unwell after watching some of these films that we've been doing recently? And then I thought, yes, I am. Because for whatever strange, bizarre reason, and I don't know this,
Satellite of Love.
but I enjoyed it. I thought it was really clever. I thought it was great. I really liked it. I was captivated from beginning to end. I liked it. I liked the announcer. I thought the announcer, I know Stephen hates the announcer. I liked the announcer. And then yeah, I enjoyed the film. I did. I think you're all missing something. I think this is one of the most clever films there is. This is how it's meant to be. you're not seeing it in the right angle. Do you get what I mean? I did generally think it was good. Alex is coming after me now.
Which angle is this? Drunk or upside down?
Don't know, but I enjoyed it.
Try the colorized version. Watch the colorized version.
No, I couldn't imagine it in color.
The narrator, when he says, you leave this theater tonight, you could be walking home and you could meet a man from outer space. Oh, my God.
Yeah, but that's what I liked about it. Because, I thought the narration bit was really helped the film. I did. I liked the narration of it, and I liked the narrator. I think it was a good film. I don't know what's gotten into me. I shouldn't like it, but I do like it. And it's not awful that it's good. It's good. If something's awful, it's awful. I hate when but it's a good bad movie. No, it's not. It's a good movie. You just said it's good. It's a good bad movie. Well, you said it's good. So it's a good movie. It is a good movie. I know it's got terrible acting, and I know you can see the shadows on the back of the wall where there's the studio, and when the flying saucers are going over and the chairs are all blowing around the place really dramatically, literally blowing everywhere. And yeah, no. Does anybody else want to add anything?
Well, go ahead, Lee.
Well, I'm in shock of what Alice just said there, but you realise Ed Wood made this movie and all these other movies on a shoestring budget. He reused stuff.
And he literally reused the shoestring for the flying saucers.
But the curtains were reused for the Martians inside of the spaceship with their general or whatever, and also the curtains was used for the inside of the plane, and that set for the aeroplane was reused for the UFO because it had the same fittings on the wall as the aeroplane, if you noticed that. But as you say as well, it was all done in one little studio apparently, and as you say, you saw the shadows on the wall.
You saw the shadows, yeah. That's why I couldn't imagine it in colour, because you just see the shadows more.
When they're in the graveyard as well, you could see the backdrop was a wall, and you could see the grass was false because it moved every time people walked on it. But it's it made it was so awful, but I thought you find yourself laughing along.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious.
That's what I mean.
I enjoy it because it was so funny. It was It was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, you laugh. I mean, the narrator Creswell or something. I think he was a best friend of Ed Wood at the time, and I think he got him in other movies as well, apparently. But if you sit there and you're giggling away to yourself at the scenery or the acting or whatever, or, the piece of string holding up the UFO.
Yeah, and when the cop's standing there and the corpse comes up behind him, and it's like, he's just standing there with a cigarette, and he's just got boom on his shoulder. It's just it's a spoof. It's something that a comedy would do. It's like a spoof. It's something that like French and Saunders or something like that.
Yes, but no, Ed Wood was a serious writer, producer, director. He never made it out to be a spoof. He took his work seriously.
Even Glenda. I mean that one is the same kind of ambiance, the same feel, the same weirdness, and but I prefer that one to Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Yeah.
But Vampira, by this appearance and performance, she inspired Elvira. She inspired so many other goth women like Morticia Adams and
how thin was her waist? Bloody hell.
Mrs. Munster. I mean, there's stuff in this that went on to create other things in culture. But,
Wait, Alex is dying to talk about her waist.
yeah, well, she was really super thin. Here we go.
No, I'm not talking about her. No, that's what I mean. It inspired something good, but unfortunately on the original screen it's for the wrong reason. That's what I mean. I mean it is a campy movie. It does have fans because the thing is the narration's good. His tone voice is good, but the writing's bad. That's where we're going to be for the rest of our lives. I mean, come on, that's just terrible. Uh, so I mean, there's a difference between one or two bad lines in a movie and going over 20, and then these cops are also philosophers. It's like you don't have time for this, pal. And then the one policeman that goes down into the grave, but he doesn't have a flashlight. I mean, come on, people. And then he's acting like Lou Costello or something. Come on.
Wait there, Beef Dad wants to say something.
Do I?
Yeah. Go ahead, Beef Dad.
Well, that Criswell creature that did the narration with that extraordinary hairstyle, he was actually an American psychic. He was known for doing crazy, totally inaccurate predictions. God knows why. He did lots of films with Edward. I can't imagine why. I really can't imagine why. But no, the vampire character, yeah, I agree with you that that did certainly generate the sort of Lily Munster, definitely, because that was very much based on Vampira. Yeah, and as I say, Tor Johnson, there was there's nothing you could say against Tor Johnson and the way he played the part. But he was practically alone in that cast, and I really felt for the man. And that's all I've got to say.
Stephen Price, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, and I've just read this now. During the first aircraft cockpit scene, the first officer is visibly reading from the script in his lap, and a flash of light from a flying saucer reveals the shadow of the boom microphone.
I thought you weren't going to. I thought you weren't going to add the pit at the end to begin with. To be honest, Stephen, it was quite a long pause there. Anybody else want to add anything before we wrap this up?
Yes, me.
Oh, what have you got to add, Brian? I thought the highlights were brilliant.
Oh,
They lasted about 48 seconds.
you guys are never gonna let that go.
Let it go. Let it go. Oh, no, okay. Wrong cast.
No,
Go ahead, Brian.
I just want to add on the narration that I didn't like it, Howard.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry, Brian.
Yeah, because I know how Stephen didn't said that he didn't like it, so I'm just.
So you're just going with what Stephen says. Oh, Stephen says he doesn't like it, so I don't like
I'm
it.
just saying. No, I'm saying I'm agreeing with him because I thought it to be a bit annoying.
Brian, shall I give you a good tip in life? Yeah.
What?
Never agree with what Stephen Price says, and you'll go far.
And also, I want to ask.
What was the film about? Yes, that's what I want to ask.
Well, it's not mostly a question. Mostly.
It's about aliens wearing satin jammies.
Did anybody think that that character that was like mostly in the cave. That didn't anybody think that looked like Dracula?
In the Cape.
Brian, it was Bela Lugosi.
Who's that?
He played the original Dracula.
I never. You see, that's the thing. I never saw the
The
original.
guy that was in the scene at the funeral. They used a stand-in and they put him as Dracula,
You
but
see,
he wasn't him.
See, I never saw the original Dracula movie, so.
Did
Brian,
you?
Brian, you're always consistent. You never fail.
He may be consistent, but I'm going to go back and look at our cast, what we did last year of Dracula, starring Bela Lugosi, just to check to see if Brian was on that cast.
Pretty sure I wasn't because I'm pretty sure I never saw the film.
You better start googling it.
I mean, he could just have an incredibly short memory.
Yeah, that could be too, because sometimes that happens as well. So, anyway, back to the movie.
Yeah, what movie were we doing, Brian?
Plan 9 from Outer Space. Thank you very much.
Let's go to final say and score. Let's start off with Beef Dad since he's unmuted. Yeah, thank you, Beef Dad. Let's go to Stephen Price. In your own time, Beef Dad. Well, I'll just sit here.
No, I thought you were going to Stephen Price because I said...
No, not going to Stephen Price. No.
Oh. Well, he gets a 2 for Tor Johnson, and that's it.
Wow, a 2. Let's go to Stephen Price. Let's see if this is going to be any higher or lower than a 2, Stephen.
It gets a 0 from me for being just absolutely terrible.
Wow, yes, let's go to Alex and Susan. Lee is dying to talk, but we're going to Alex and Susan. Sorry, Lee, you're going to have to wait your turn.
Well, I will give it 8 flaming flying saucers and 8 vampiras and 8 Tor Johnsons.
And Alex, just give us a score, Alex. Just give us a score.
Stupid. Yeah, Tor Johnson and the silliness of the narration and the fact that it isn't as bad as Manos or Sharknado, it gets a 6. Barely.
Oh, barely gets a 6. At least it's higher than a 0, though. Let's go to Brian. What are you going to rate this, Brian?
I'm here to save the day. Okay, so I think my rating of the score of the movie would be probably maybe I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
A 6 out of 10. You've just copied Alex, haven't you? let's go to
Copy Alex. Alex is brilliant.
Sorry, Alex, your score's been taken. I'm sorry. We'll have to go back to Alex. Alex, whatever number do you want? We've got a 1, a 4, a 5, a 7, an 8, a 10. Do you want to? Alex is giving it a 10. Let's go to Lee.
I thought the movie deserved that.
I know Susan's mentioned it and she held up the DVD, but you've got to check out the Johnny Depp Tim Burton movie about Ed Wood, because in that movie you found out what sort of weird character he was. And I would just like to say thank you. This is the first time I've ever listened to Stephen Price's suggestion of doing a movie. Yes,
oh
he
my
suggested
God, it was
doing
Stephen
this.
Price's suggestion.
But I'm gonna give it a, because you sit there and you find yourself giggling away to what's going on the screen. I'm giving it a 7. I just enjoyed the silliness of it, to be honest.
When you said thank you, I thought you were going to burst into song.
No, no. And he gave it a 0.
No, listen, no,
He gave
whoa,
it a zero.
I haven't
He
finished yet.
chose
I haven't finished yet. It gets a 10 out. It gets a 10 out of 10 for being so pathetic.
Oh, well, that's something. So that's quite a jump between a 0 and a 10. We've
Yeah.
never had that before. I mean, usually Alex gives several scores to a film.
Before we go, we have got to review one of his other terrible films.
Why, where are you going?
No. I just want you to see how bad this director is.
So we're gonna watch Glenda or Glenda.
Yeah. There is other. If you look on Google, there's a list of.
No,
all
that
this-
one's the one I've got. I'd love to do that. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go with Stephen Price. I'm going to agree with Stephen Price. Even though I just told Brian to never agree with Stephen Price, I am going to give this film a 10 out of 10. I'm going to give this film a 10 out of 10 because I think it is very underrated for what it is. It's a comedy.
Hold on. What have you done to the Rail Allied?
Look at Beef Dad.
Yeah, it's a comedy. It's meant to be fun and enjoyable. And come on, did you not laugh throughout? Did you not laugh throughout?
Yes. I laughed quite a bit.
Exactly.
Except for-
So what
except for
more do you
when I
want
saw
from a film than to be
Bela
entertained and
Lugosi
have a
in his
laugh?
when I saw Bella in his house, I was like, it was really sad. There was just a really like, oh, that was the last.
There's a time to live and a time to die.
That was
Oh,
the last.
That's a
time-
brilliant impression, that is.
Film.
The remake is coming, guys, and Stephen Price is in it. Anyway, I'd like to thank you, sole viewer, for making it to the end of this cast. And I would like to thank everyone here for joining me. Yes, including Brian. Thank you, Brian, for coming.
Welcome back.
And
You're very welcome. Good.
we're
sir.
very, very grateful that you found time to watch the trailer. So follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. Not down the street. It's not wanted. The attention is not wanted, I'm afraid. Hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all these crazy videos that we do for more of these podcasts. Check out our channel as well. Look after yourself. Take care. And we will see you next time.
Live long and prosper.